Olu again, nuggets of wisdom. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment on this video. Yes, another one, power series. Our topic today, what we're about to talk is the power of focus. This has been, it takes me a little while, but this has been kind of like a little download in my mind about what is actually focus. The power of focus is what we're going to talk about today. What is focus? You already know what focus is, but I'm a wordsmith, so I like to actually know the meaning, the definition of the word. Focus is a thing or place that is of the greatest importance to an activity or interest. Another dictionary says focus is to fix as one attention steadily toward a central objective. All of us, we live in a society today that is full of distractions. As a result, a lot of things that is happening, we don't get to actually put our all into it because we're so much distracted. There's a study that shows that between 2006 and 2006, the attention span of an American dropped from 12 seconds to 8 seconds. Recently, another study said that our attention span is like 2.7 seconds as Americans. So there's a lot of things coming against us that's actually taking away from our focus. There is a saying that says, whatever you focus grows. So as you can see, if you focus on the wrong things would grow. If you focus on the things that have no value, no return on investment, those things will grow. If you keep on doing the same thing, if you don't understand that the focus is basically a challenge to do the best you can. So for example, you cannot be a boxer and you need a big fight and you do not focus. You're going to get knocked out. Basically, for example, during that time of focus, it means, as this definition says, steadily towards a central objective. So for example, that central objective, if you are a fighter, for those who are fighters who do anything in that sport, the central objective for you to step in that ring, either knock the person out or come out with a decision that will make you be the winner. If you are dealing with your finances, that means, how am I going to get out of debt? And if it's debt to your credit score, how do I raise those kind of things? If you're dealing with your weight or you're dealing with your health, how do I focus to that central objective to come out in a favorable manner? This focus thing, I am guilty as charged. Wherever my focus slides a little bit, whatever I'm working on or doing, you can see a decline based on my lack of focus or my focus move from one end to another. So it's imperative that you put focus on many things you do. Let's bring it down to a actually easy level, relatable things that we can talk about. A lot of us, if you don't focus on good relationships, you won't have one. So everybody says, oh, he's doing this and that. If everybody was doing the same thing they were doing, myself included, when the so-called relationship started and the focus was unbroken, or at least even if they misrode and they can recalibrate and come back to their focus, most of the things we are going through, right, we will not need to come to the bitter end. And I understand with relationship, it takes two people. So one person cannot just be focused and the other person not focusing. Because that relationship is a team sport. One cannot be a franchise player and the other one be a free agent. They have to be both players in the same place. The free agent can say, tomorrow, yeah, I'm getting traded to another team. So they're not going to put the all in it. So let's go down a little bit. In your life, are you a franchise player or are you a free agent? Franchise player means I'm focusing on winning. Franchise player means that there is no other objective for me but to win. Free agent means either way, if it doesn't work, I have another place to go. So focus is imperative. It is important. I also believe, and I want to go a little spiritual here, and I'm going off a limb. I believe the society has been designed for us to be distracted. I also believe there's a spiritual component to our distraction. People are vying for our attention. So if you look at TV, you can look at the same commercial. Studies show that you can watch before a customer buys, he has to see the same commercial or ad on TV 7 times. And by the time you know, you're singing the jingle to the song because they're distracting you enough. They'll put images in our face for us to actually go into our eye gate, go into our mind, go into our spirit. So by the time we know, we don't know what we're acting out. And I may want to go like, people may say, oh, this is reading too much. I was reading the Bible the other day and I came across this scripture, Ephesians 6, I think it's verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. I'm going to go in the emphasis against spiritual wickedness in high places. You may say, but he wasn't wicked to me. The greatest lie that is out there, that some things that do not appear, they appear benign. They appear as if it's not hurtful, it's not painful. Life is like, I was talking to myself a moment ago, this is like driving a car, which has happened to me now, with the engine check lights, but the car is still driving. Because as long as it's driving and we look good doing it, we don't believe it's a problem. So the lack of focus means that we are going to do things that are wrong. So let me give you a good example. You finally got to the point whereby your finances is getting better. Credit score goes up. And the next thing they will tell you, oh, now you can borrow a bunch of money. So what they're going to tell you, they're going to send you a bunch of credit cards. Then Sonny now tell you, now you go to the mall. I can put this vacation in this credit card. Yes, he may say, yeah, you should know. People will say, oh, but you just have to have financial literacy. It's bigger than that. It's designed for you to go into debt, for the people in the high places to keep on rising. So it's not in the best interest of business for you to be appliance and pay your bills on time. It's in their interest that you default on your debt, so they keep on making money on the interest. So somebody's laughing all the way to a bank just because of our lack of focus of what needs to be done. And I believe this is more an internal work than outside. Because what they want to do is that if you look at social media, everything's about what's the outside. What's the best clothes to wear? Who's driving the best car? Who's going to the best vacation? So during that process, we are not focusing on the right things. So if you look at it, against spiritual wickedness in high places, how many times your kid will hear the same song and they want a particular toy? And there's nothing wrong with all those things I'm trying to tell you, but I want you to be mindful of the tricks, in my opinion, of the devil. I believe there's a spirit that wants to keep us in debt. If you want to look at it, go try it. The American economy is not based on savings or investment. It's based on consumer spending. So if nobody's spending money in the economy, right, the economy is actually not doing well. But when people are spending money, yeah, everything is great. I'm not just using the money as an analogy. It can be anything else. It can be relationships. It can be your business. It can be school. It can be work. It can be your career. I was listening to this book, Excuses Services by Brian Tracy, and he says take like 3% of your income, or somebody who spends 3% of income to actually invest in himself, right, will have about 10 to 15% or 20% increase in their knowledge, increase in their income as well. So everybody has narrowed everything down to numbers. One of my mentors used to say, numbers don't lie, people do. We need to get to that point whereby if I continue on this path, it is going to actually work for me. So focus is imperative. I dare you to focus. I dare you to work hard and focus on one thing and forget what everybody's saying. So what I'm going to close with this. I got 5 things that I call the stop focusing. I call the 5 things of stop focusing. Number 1, stop focusing on everybody else but yourself. Comparison is the greatest enemy. There's a scripture that says, he that compares himself against someone else is not wise. Do not compare. Stop focusing on everybody else, what they're buying, what they're driving. It's a lose-lose proposition. Number 2, stop focusing on liabilities, focus on assets. I know that sounds very financial, but it's not about money. It's about people, places, and things. The people that you think that are cool enough that have to be in your orbit, but they're adding nothing to you, is a liability. It's not an asset. Places you are going that you know you go in there and get into trouble, right? Is not an asset, it's a liability. Things that you don't need because you already have enough is not a liability, it's not an asset. It's not an asset, it's a liability. So that's what basically. Number 3, we need, I would say, cleansing of the mind. We need some spiritual awakening. We need a way in our life that the focus is so much on the aesthetics outside. So stop focusing on the outside, but focus on the inside. Focusing on the outside looks like a house that has no foundation. Focusing on the inside is the foundation in you that will make the house to stand. If you hear the saying that the mind is the general and the body is the troops, focus on your inside. Focus on you building yourself. Focus on you looking at your skills that will be of value for you. This nonsense that you keep on going around makes no sense. Focus on what you need to do. Read a book. Go on therapy. Look at yourself. Eat health. You know those things, so don't let me keep on reiterating it. Number 4. Stop focusing. You see, when you focus on short term, there's a saying that delayed gratification is a sign of maturity. We are in a system whereby everything is fast, quick, and in a hurry. Have it your way. Drive through this, drive through that. There's no long-term thinking. So there cannot be any investment if you're not a long-term thinker. You are focusing on short-term gains, short-term enjoyment, short-term blessing, short-term relationships. Then you get hurt because there's no long-term thinking. Lastly, let's stop focusing on what if and what could be. You ask somebody, let's start a business. Oh, what if it fails? Oh, what if something happens? Oh, what if nothing works? What if this don't happen? What could be? You could be the next millionaire. You could be the next person who's happy. You can be the next healthy person. You can be the next motivational speaker. You can be the next whatever you put your mind to. But you have not given yourself the chance because you're so cynical, whereby what if? Stop focusing on what if, but focusing on what could be. Man, I can go on and on. The power of focus, power series, challenge accepted. Accept the challenge. Focus. I double dare you again to focus. Nobody can stop you. No devil in hell. A man or a woman that is focused is a dangerous person. This is Olu again. Nuggets of Wisdom. Like, comment, subscribe, and please, please, please drop a comment. I want to hear your feedback. God bless, and I'm out.